Good afternoon, or howdy, everybody. Welcome to the City of Brooks Council meeting. At this time, we'd like to do our land acknowledgement and traditional territories and oral practices of the Blackfoot Nation, which include the Siksika, the Kainai, and the Piikani. We also acknowledge the Tsuut'ina and Stoney Nakoda First Nation, the Métis Nation District 4, and all the people who make their homes in Treaty 7 region of Southern Alberta. We're making this acknowledgement to demonstrate our continuing efforts to work together as we strive for reconciliation through increased and collective learning. All right, we have an agenda in front of us. I'm going to call this meeting to order, and we are going to start with staff introductions. Shereen.
So, through the chair to the Deputy Mayor and Council, I'm here to introduce the newest member of my team, Safety Officer Sharon Stewart. Sharon brings a wealth of experience and passion for workplace health and safety. She holds a diploma in occupational health and safety and is a certified auditor through the Alberta Municipal Health and Safety Association. Most recently, Sharon worked with Alberta Health Services as a safety advisor, where she supported 15 sites across central Alberta. Before joining AHS, Sharon dedicated 18 years to the city of Red Deer, where she played a key role in developing and enhancing their safety management program. Welcome, Sharon.
Welcome to the City of Brooks. Is there anything you'd like to say?
I just want to say thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Great. Oh, it's an honor to have you and get to meet you. And you're going to have a great leader there. Okay, we called this meeting to order. Do we have some items that we have to add to the agenda?
Through you, yes, Mr. Deputy Mayor, we'd like to add an item 6N as in Norman. We've been asked to second a motion for the town of Sexsmith. Motions for the Alberta Municipalities Convention.
Okay, and any questions on that? All in favor of adding that? All right, it's added to the agenda. Okay, and now I need a motion to adopt the agenda as presented. Motion by Councillor Wardrop. All in favor of that? Perfect, thank you. Okay, moved by, oh, we already did that. Carried, right. Okay, minutes of the regular council meeting, May 20th, 2025. Anything coming out of that arising? All right, motion by Councillor Dries. Do I got my sheets? My little, or, okay. Okay, sorry, I just reading. I was used to the little piece of paper. Okay. Moved by Councillor Dries that the minutes of the regular council meeting held May 20th, 2025 be approved. And all in favor of that? All right, thank you for that. All right, business arising out of the minutes, correspondence and information, any updates on council conferences and workshops? Nothing to report this week? I think next week we'll talk about FCM and some other couple things. Okay. So I need a motion then to accept that report? Nothing?
Nothing.
Oh, all right.
No motion required.
No motion required. Okay. Number 6. All right. On to the business of the day. Proclamation of Pride Month. And we're going to hear from Inclusion Coordinator Robin Clausen.
Thank you. Through the chair to Deputy Mayor Goodenough and Council, Pride Month is a time to celebrate the diversity, resilience, and contributions of the 2S LGBTQAI+ community, individuals for our community. Is it a time for reflection, education, and growth as we strive toward greater inclusion and understanding? This year, our local Pride efforts are placing a special focus on the education of allyship. Being an ally means more than showing support. It means listening, learning, and using our voices to stand beside those whose rights and identities have historically been marginalized by centering education around allyship. We hope to focus a more compassionate and connected Brooks for everyone. Administration plans to put together some kits focusing on being an ally in honor of Pride. So therefore, administration is recommending that June be proclaimed as Pride Month in the City of Brooks.
Okay. Any, Councillor Wardrop, please.
Thank you. I would just like to share some statistics and some information that, as it relates to Pride Month with Council, and just a couple of my thoughts. It's my opinion that proclamations and acts in support of Pride continue to be prioritized for leaders like us and decision makers in our society. As mentioned, Pride is a celebration, but it also serves as a way to continue to advocate for continued development of rights and equality for the 2S LGBTQIA+ population in Canada. So just for information, advocacy, education, and government action has so far led to some of these, I guess, highlights here. So in 1969, homosexuality was decriminalized in Canada. In 1973, homosexuality was removed from the DSM-2 as an illness. In 1992, the World Health Organization removed homosexuality from its list of mental disorders. And in 1998, discrimination based on sexual orientation was deemed to violate the Canadian Constitution. And most recently, in 2017, Bill C-16 prohibits discrimination based on gender identity and expression. So while these steps go in the right direction, we still have a long way to go. And one stat that shows this would be the stark increase in police reported hate crimes. In 2023, a record high of 860 police-reported hate crimes motivated by sexual orientation occurred in Canada, and that was a 69% increase from the previous year, which was a record-setting year already at 509 incidents. So, yeah, I saw that statistic. It's a StatsCan report, and it just, it just kind of struck me. I wanted to share that. So, and also last year, approximately 12% of all Canadians identified as 2S LGBTQIA+, and Canadians of all age demographics and whatever other demographics are included in that number. And so my final thought on Pride this year is that while Pride can often be looked as more of a youth issue, it's not. It's a wide-ranging, it has a wide group of people. Let's not forget that the 18-year-olds in 1969 who were fighting at Stonewall or who were there when homosexuality was decriminalized, they're 74 years old today. So those are our senior citizens. So Pride is for everyone, and I just wanted to share a couple of my thoughts this year on it. So thank you very much for listening.
Thank you for that. As always, we pride ourselves on being a welcoming and inclusive community in the city of Brooks, and so we look forward to this month as we do every year. And so I do want to just pause for a second. I just want to see, is Councillor Prentice online with us? No? Okay, all right. Sorry about that. Thank you again for that. Okay, to the motion for that. All in favor? Those opposed? Seeing none? Okay.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, who moved that, please?
Oh, sorry, I need, who moves that? Moved by Councillor Wardrop. Sorry. All right, thank you. Okay, our next thing is policy L-001-008, policy review. And that will be by Manager Administration, Amy Romans, please.
Thank you. Through the chair to Deputy Mayor and Council. As you're aware, administration is currently reviewing all city policies to ensure they align with legislation, current city practice, and council's strategic focus areas. The first policy for tonight states that all city policies will be reviewed every 4 years, and policies that require changes prior to that can be brought forward at any time. And I just wanted to follow up to a question I believe was asked by Councillor Juska in the committee meeting. We currently have 101 city policies.
Okay, is moved by, who would like to? Councillor Jessica, that policy L-001-008, entitled Policy Review, be adopted. All in favor? All right, thank you. All right, policy L-001-031, in brackets A, public participation policy, and that will be Manager Amy Romans again, please.
Thank you. Through the chair to Deputy Mayor and Council. Minor updates have been made to the public participation policy, including formatting and the removal of a sentence referring to why council members are elected. As per the public participation policy regulation, this policy must be reviewed every 4 years to ensure it aligns with legislation and the city's interest. Public participation required by legislation is not included in this policy. This only refers to non-statutory opportunities for the public, and administration is recommending that the policy be approved.
All right, I'll need a motion to accept that. Councillor Nesbitt. All right, moved by Councillor Nesbitt, that policy L-001-031-A, entitled Public Participation Policy, be adopted. All in favor? All right, carried. All right, policy H-001-008A, volunteer engagement policy. Again, this will be Manager of Administration, Amy Romans.
Thank you. Through the chair to Deputy Mayor and Council. The volunteer engagement policy has been updated to include that volunteer activities are permitted to occur outside of working hours, and employees may flex the time to use during working hours. And volunteer activities can occur outside the City of Brooks if the benefit is primarily to an organization within the city. Previously, the CAO could approve special requests within the policy. However, it was requested that the specific examples now included in the policy be added to ensure clarity. And again, administration is recommending that the policy be approved.
Okay, to the motion. Who would motion that? Oh, question, sorry. My apologies, Councillor Dries.
Just a question. Does the city have a policy on engaging volunteers with the city, like someone volunteering for the city?
Through the chair to Councillor Idris, we have a municipal enforcement volunteer policy, but as far as I can remember, we don't have just an overall volunteer policy.
I don't know if that's if you can answer this, but do you think it's a good thing to have? Like, do you think it's something that we can look at, or?
Through the chair to Councillor Idris, it's something we can definitely look at. I'm a member of Alberta Municipal Clerks Association, and they have a spot on their website where you can ask other municipalities for policy or bylaw examples. So I could reach out to them, see if any municipalities have something like that, and then bring it forward to the senior management team for further discussion.
And that actually came to mind when I was reading this policy. When I first read the title of the policy, that's actually what came to my mind, that this is a policy on engaging volunteers. So if maybe we have that, then this policy will be a policy on staff volunteering or something like that. So the name will be. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, so I need to get this moved. Moved by someone? Councillor Idris. Okay. Policy H-001-008, entitled Volunteer Engagement Policy, be adopted. All those in favor? Okay, thank you. Pass. All right, letter E. From the WIC Community Appointee, we're going to have Inclusion Coordinator Robin Clausen.
Through the chair to Deputy Mayor Goodenath and Council, I'm here this evening to respectfully request the appointment of 2 new members to the Welcome and Inclusive Committee, also known as the WIC Committee. One of these proposed appointments would fill the designated youth seat, as outlined in the committee's terms of reference. The second would also be another member at large who's chosen to bring additional perspectives and engagement. So with these 2 appointments, the WIC Committee would be fully seated. And therefore, administration is requesting the council appoint the following WIC committees, or the following following members. Jamela Sanko as our youth member, and Emil Chris Arello as a member at large.
Okay, to the motion that that's it? Or question? I think we do motions first, right? We should put the motion first, right, and then question? Okay. All right, so moved by Councillor Jessica, that council appoint the following individuals to Welcoming and Inclusive Communities, WIC, committee for a 3-year term commencing June 4th, 2025 and ending June 3rd, 2028. Members at large, Emil Chris and youth member Jamela. Any questions? No questions? No? Seeing none? All right, all in favor? All right. Okay. Appointment to the City of Brooks Arts, Culture, and Heritage Board. Manager of Administration, Amy Romans, please.
Thank you. Through the chair to Deputy Mayor and Council, the Arts, Culture, and Heritage Board's mandate is to assist both Council and the City in providing opportunities for arts, culture, and heritage programs, events, and facilities within the City of Brooks. The board consists of 6 citizens at large and 1 city councillor, and there is currently 1 citizen at large vacancy. The open position was advertised and 1 application was received. The board reviewed the application and is recommending Deborah Forbes be appointed for a first 2-year term commencing June 4th, 2025 and ending June 3rd, 2027.
All right, need a motion on that. Councillor Nesbitt. All right, move that Deborah Forbes be appointed to the Arts, Culture, and Heritage Board for first of 2-year terms commencing June 4th, 2025 and ending June 3rd, 2027. Any questions on that? Seeing none, all in favor? Great, thank you. Okay. Council meeting summer schedule. Interim CAO, Doug Lagour.
Through you, Mr. Deputy Mayor, as past practice, we cancel council meetings during July and August. The only meeting we're proposing is the July 7th meeting. All the rest would be canceled. We don't have to cancel committee meetings as they are only called when necessary. And if need, we can always call a special meeting throughout the summer if something comes up that's urgent. Our recommendation is that we cancel July 21st, August 5th, and August 18th. Thank you.
All right, who will be the brave one to motion that? Oh, Councillor Idris. Okay, here we go. Moved by Councillor Idris that we cancel the following meetings. Council meeting scheduled for July 21st, 2025, 4:30 p.m. Council meeting scheduled for August 5th, 2025 at 4:30 p.m. and council meeting scheduled for August 18th, 2025 at 4:30 p.m. Is there any questions on that? Seeing none, all in favor? All right, that's carried. Alberta Immigrant Impact Award, and this is going to be from Inclusion Officer Robin Clausen.
Thank you. Through the chair to Deputy Mayor Goodeneth and Council, I'd like to inform you of my intention to nominate a local community member, Sin Sang, for the Women's Impact Alberta Immigrant Award, with the nomination being due by June 18th. This individual has made a significant difference in Brooks, ensuring that her workplace is diverse and multilingual to help break down barriers, as well as creating community groups based on real needs, and using her role as a business and building owner to support newcomers with both employment and housing. I believe she truly represents the spirit of this award, and I would appreciate your support in recognizing her incredible impact. Therefore, administration is requesting that council approve and support the nomination.
This is a great nomination recommendation from you. And I'm glad to see Councillor Prentice is now online with us too. So welcome, Councillor Prentice. All right, I need a motion for that, please. Councillor Jessica. That we support the nomination of Xin Zhang for the Immigrant Women's Impact Award. All in favor? Great, thank you. Okay. Acting Director of Finance, Signing Authority, Interim CAO Doug Legore.
Through you to Mr. Deputy Mayor, to Council, we need to have the Acting Director of Finance added as a signing authority until such time as our Director of Finance comes on board, and it would be our recommendation that Kathy Slaney be appointed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, I need a motion for that. Councillor Wardrop, thank you. Moved by, oh, yes, yes, question.
Yeah, thank you. So it need two signatures. Is anybody on council or the mayor have to provide one of those signatures, or is it all within staff?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, know that it's either the mayor or deputy mayor, or it can be two staff, depending upon the issue, but typically they're signed off by the mayor and or deputy mayor.
Okay, good question there. So moved by Councillor Juska, you moved that, right? That council ratify and adding the acting director of finance to the City of Brooks signing authority. All in favor of that? All right, thank you. Application for accreditation, and this is going to come from Development Control Officer Bailey Boulay.
Thank you. Through the chair to Deputy Mayor and Council, the Safety Codes Act of Alberta enables municipalities to become accredited to administer their own permitting and inspection services in specific code disciplines. So right now we're permitted in the National Fire Code and the National Building Code under the Safety Act. However, we're not accredited to administer plumbing, gas, and electrical permits. These services are currently being provided by the Alberta Safety Codes Authority by default. So as a result, all associated permit applications and fees for these disciplines are collected by the ASCA rather than the City of Brooks, which represents a missed revenue opportunity for the City of Brooks. Based on our recent development activity, a substantial volume of plumbing, gas, and electrical permits are issued annually within Brooks, and by the city becoming accredited in these disciplines, the city would be positioned to retain this revenue. In addition to the financial benefits, it would also assume responsibility for these permits, which would align with the city's commitment to improving our efficiency and streamlining our development processes. So the recommendation from staff is that council authorize administration to apply to the Safety Codes Council for accreditation in the disciplines of plumbing, gas, and electrical, and to proceed with the necessary steps to bring these permitting and inspection services under the City of Brooks' administration. Thank you.
Okay, questions on this? Councillor Wardrop.
I mentioned in committee, but I just wanted to say to the public too, thank you. Great job, and a shout out to Director Tiffin and her team and CAO Legore for taking on this initiative. This is great work, and these are the little big things that make the city awesome. So thank you.
It's not on, it wasn't recorded, sorry. I do have one question, I guess. Do we see that in the future that this will require more staffing, or do we feel that our department will be adequately able to handle this workload?
No, at this time, I think we can handle the workload, especially because we're not actually carrying out the inspections and the issuances of these permits. It would be similar to how we process our building permits, and where we accept the applications, we do assist. It would be easy for people to come, drop off all their applications in one place, and we assist with that process. But the bulk of the work is actually being done by our current contracted services, Superior Safety Codes.
Right, and I just want, yeah, and it is Superior, so they won't, city staff won't be going around inspecting and doing those, just for clarification.
No.
Okay, thank you. All right, I need someone to make a motion on that, please. Councillor Nesbitt. Moved by Councillor Nesbitt that council authorize administration to apply to the Safety Codes Council for accreditation in the disciplines of of plumbing, gas, and electrical, and to proceed with the necessary steps to bring these permitting and inspection services under the City of Brooks administration. All in favor of that? All right, carried. Permanent versus temporary use, 907 2nd Street West, and this will be off, Development Control Officer Bailey Boulay.
Thank you. Through the chair to Deputy Mayor and Council. In December of 2022, the city originally issued Development Permit 22D96 for a cafe with a drive-through operating at 907 2nd Street West. And originally this was approved as a temporary use with the understanding that it would be reviewed annually by council. The temporary approval served as a compromise in light of the sanitary sewer bylaw and the potable water bylaw, both of which require connection to municipal services. The original intent was to allow the use for a limited amount of time while reviewing its appropriateness and the implications on an ongoing basis. And it has been reviewed and granted extensions from 2022 to 2024, the last of which expired in November of 2024. And due to an oversight, administration did not initiate the renewal or update prior to expiry, but the business has continued to operate. So we brought this for discussion to council committee, and the business is requesting that the permit be granted an extension. So the recommendation coming forward today from that discussion is that council renew the temporary permit 22D96 and that section 303 of the sanitary sewer bylaw be waived in accordance with section 308 of that bylaw, and that section 303 of the potable water bylaw be waived in accordance with section 310 of that bylaw, and that such permit and waivers shall expire on June 2nd, 2026. So it'll be another 1-year extension.
Okay, I know we've had extensive conversations on this, so is there anyone would like to speak to this? Not at this time? Okay. All right, then moved by, I need someone to make the motion. Councillor Wardrop. All right, moved by Councillor Wardrop that council renew the temporary permit 22-D-96 and that section 303 of the sanitary sewer bylaw 2125 be waived in accordance with section 308 and said bylaw, and that section 303 of the potable water bylaw 1504 be waived in accordance with section 310 of said bylaw, and that such permit and waiver shall expire on June 2nd, 2026. And all in favor of that? All right, it's carried. Okay, amendment of sale, 1504 and 1514 2nd Avenue East. We've got a request for decision, and that will be from Director of Planning and Community Development, Lisa Tiffin.
Thank you. Through the Deputy Mayor. Back on April 4th, 2024, so we're going back more than a year, Council accepted an offer to purchase 6 residential lots in our southeast sector. The lots are located at 1504, 1506, 1508, 1510, 1512, 1514 2nd Avenue East, and each one is zoned residential high density. I've attached a map just for your reference. A sale agreement was drafted and signed for the sale. All of the conditions were met, including the deposit being paid, but unfortunately the closing date lapsed before the condition waivers could be signed off. So at this point, council has 2 options moving forward regarding this transaction. We can amend the sale agreement to adjust the closing date, or we can allow the sale agreement to terminate as per the way that it's drafted and return the deposit to the purchaser. Staff has been working with this purchaser. They do have development permits in place. We just need to get the sale agreement essentially signed off so that they can get their building permits. So therefore, our recommendation is council amend the sale agreement for 1504 through to 1514 2nd Avenue East to adjust the closing date to June 20th, 2025.
Okay, is there any questions on that? Okay. Need a motion on that, please? Councillor Jessica. All right, moved by Councillor Jessica that council amend the sale agreement for 1504 through 1514 Second Avenue East to adjust the closing date to June 20th, 2025. All in favor of that? Okay, thank you very much. That's carried. Letter M, minor baseball, one-time youth recreation donation, past donation. We're going to hear from Manager of Administration, Amy Romans on this, please.
Thank you. Through the chair to Deputy Mayor and Council. A grant or fee waiver application form was received from Brooks Minor Baseball and is attached for Council's information, requesting a donation of 300 one-time use youth recreation passes for players attending the Riley Martin Memorial Tournament being held June 13th to 15th. There are 21 teams attending from Alberta and Saskatchewan. Brooks Minor Baseball did not include a budget with their application, as they've advised that they rely on donations to fund the majority of this tournament, as well as the registration fee paid by each team. All funds raised go to the Riley Martin Legacy Grant to fund youth that wouldn't otherwise be able to play baseball. And this year they provided 8 grants to players. The Brooks Minor Baseball did receive a recreation user group grant, which they noted in their application. However, the funding was used for equipment, and they did not use any of the funding for this tournament. I just wanted to note that the senior management team has recently discussed changing the grants to organizations policy to create a different process for tracking in-kind donations and fee waivers such as these separately from monetary requests. So obviously once that process is finalized, the policy will be brought forward to council committee and then council for approval. The total amount for the donation request is $1,950. However, it's unknown if all of the passes are going to be used. Previously, council has approved donations in the amount of $3,700 for the Coy Larson Memorial Rodeo, up to $800 for Talata Basketball, $186 for Brooks Curling Association, and youth admissions for Brooks Minor Hockey Tournaments, and that amount won't be known until the end of this year. So administration is recommending that council approve the donation of 300 youth recreation passes for the Riley Martin Memorial Tournament.
Okay, is there some questions on this? Sorry? Use your mic, sorry.
So, in terms of policy, we discussed the idea that someone who is applying for funds but receiving some funds from the city in other ways wouldn't qualify. Did we say if this fund is being used separately from this event? Because the RUG grant is city money, right?
Through the chair to Councillor Idris, the RUG grant was used for equipment, so none of the funding received from RUG is used for this tournament. And the section in the policy states that they're not eligible if they have received RUG, Arts, Culture and Heritage, or FCSS funding for the same event, program, or activity. So they've advised that none of that funding would be used for this tournament. They rely heavily on donations and fundraising to fund this tournament.
Okay, more questions? Councillor Wardrop?
Just for clarification, the last one that we looked at, it was also an in-kind donation, right? Or was it in-kind, or was it okay.
Through the chair to Councillor Wardrop, the last one that was discussed at committee was for a fee waiver for rental of the Centennial Regional Arena. However, they had received FCSS funding for that program, so administration advised them that they would not be eligible to apply or be approved for the fee waiver.
Thank you. Actually, another follow-up, and apologies if you don't have the information. Sorry, Chair. Would anyone of our administrators know how many passes were used after our last donation, in-kind donation of passes? And
Through the chair to Councillor Wardrop, unfortunately, I do not. And I am also unsure if we mark those passes in any way that would differentiate them from any other youth pass that's either purchased or donated through something else. But that could be something that we look at when we review the policy, is somehow marking them or determining a way to track. So then if these requests continue to come forward in the future, we have a better idea of what the potential for the lost revenue could be.
yeah, and I guess just a thought for the in-kind donations, and as discussed at the rec board, right, Councillor Nesbitt will know that the in-kind donations are not all created equally, right? In-kind donations for the rental fee waivers are a little bit more, well, there's a guarantee of lost, almost a guarantee of lost revenue usually, and there's a lot more, sometimes it's more staff laborious. Yeah, something to consider going forward there.
So some of the benefits of having this, if I could speak to this, we're going to have 21 teams attending, which will probably be anywhere from 20 to 25 kids, possibly with their parents. Our hotels will be full. The city will be buzzing from Saskatchewan and Alberta on this. But so that's the positive that this tournament's going to bring to our community. I think it will work if many of these kids use the hot tub and the spa or the pool, wave pool. It's going to put a lot of stress on our city equipment or the JBS County Center, but that's the purpose of having a facility like that, is to be used. But I did want to go back to the RUG grant. So the Soccer Association did receive funding, or sorry, Baseball Association did receive funding for equipment. So technically their organization has received money this last year. And if I'm not mistaken, you did say that organizations that receive money would not qualify then, right?
Through the chair to Deputy Mayor Goodenough, the wording in the policy is that applicants that receive a grant and a fee waiver is treated the same must not have received funding from other city-funded organizations or grants, which I listed earlier, for the same event, program, or activity being applied for. So the way that I read that policy is that the organization received the funding, but I did clarify with them that none of that funding would be used for this tournament. So that's how I applied the policy, basically.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't want to split hairs because it's kind of like the idea of we're giving it to an organization, but how they choose to spend their money throughout the year. It's kind of one of those catches, right, in the overall budget. But let's move forward on that. So, so I need a motion to accept this, or yeah, Councillor Jessica, sorry, or your okay. Moved by Councillor Jessica that council. Oh, sorry.
I just want to make one point, because I think that the hesitation here is because we did previously discuss another application. We did not go through with it. It was another in-kind donation, but let's make sure that I would prefer to have the information about how many of those passes were used. That would be good information. I want to say anecdotally, I'm not 100% sure, but a lot of those passes that we have given in kind in the past are not near the staff or the financial, I guess, loss of a larger fee rental, and just so I guess doing my best to be fair and equal and transparent. I'm okay with this in-kind donation, and hopefully the policy going forward makes sure that we're dealing with this on a little bit more equitable basis. So I just wanted to make that clear. Yeah.
Thank you for the clarification. Councillor Jessica.
Now, so far as how many passes are used, my recollection is that question has come up before. There's been changes with administration since then, but when it did come up before, my recollection is that not a huge percentage of those passes were actually used. And also, so far as this situation, it's not the same situation as we're talking about. This one falls within the policy, the way it's written right now. The one you're referring to fell against the policy, the way it's written now. So if the policy needs some clarification in the future, that's fine. But right now, it's apples and oranges. And so that's why I support it this time.
Okay, to the motion moved by Councillor Jessica, that council approve the donation of 300 youth recreation passes for the Riley Martin Memorial Tournament. And all in favor? Good. All right, carried. All right, number 7, bylaws. Bylaw 2507, Animal Control Bylaw, Manager of Administration, Amy Romans. Oh, sorry?
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, you've got one motion.
Yes.
Additional item.
Yes, sorry, my apologies. Where am I looking at this? Yep. I just don't have it written down how we're reading it. Sorry. Okay, thank you. All right, Town of Sexsmith Resolution for 2025 Alberta Munis Convention, and this is going to be request for decision dated June 20th from the Fire Chief and Manager of Administration, Amy Romans.
Thank you. Through the chair to Deputy Mayor and Council, the Town of Sexsmith has approached the city as the seconder to their motion entitled Advocate for Extended Lifespan of Fire Apparatus in Municipalities. As you are aware, the Alberta Municipalities Convention is an annual gathering of municipal leaders from across the province. Resolutions submitted by municipalities play a crucial role in shaping the advocacy priorities for that organization and the direction of municipal policy in this province. The deadline to submit resolutions is June 30th. Administration's recommendation is that the City of Brooks second the Town of Sexsmith's resolution entitled Advocate for Extended Lifespan of Fire Apparatus in Municipalities, which will be submitted for the 2025 Alberta Municipalities Convention.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, I need this to be moved by Councillor Nesbitt. That the City of Brooks second the resolution advocate for extended lifespan of fire apparatuses in municipalities moved by the Town of Sexsmith to be submitted to the 2025 Fall Alberta Municipalities Convention. Is there any questions on that? I do have a question. This will be for our fire chief. What is the fire apparatus? Like extending the lifespan of a fire apparatus in municipalities. Could you go into a little bit more on that?
Sure. Through the mayor to all of council. So fire apparatus is evaluated or is held to a standard, and that standard is through the National Fire Protection Association, which is also known as NFPA. The standard is 1901. and it's on apparatus, or automotive fire apparatus. And it's also evaluated or weighted on, under ULC, which is Underwriters Laboratory of Canada. The standard is S515, automobile firefighting apparatus. And the bottom line is, we need to be held to a standard. Currently, as it stands right now with the 20-year life cycle, if you go beyond that, you risk your insurance rates increasing. You know, the risk is greater. But with checks and balances in place, the life can be extended reasonably, right? And that's why I'm in favor of this. We know that the price of equipment has gone up exponentially, right? So it is a hardship on municipalities.
So when we say apparatus, we're saying the ladder that shoots out, basically?
Oh, sorry?
When we're saying apparatus, it's the ladder that shoots out.
Sorry.
Layman's terms.
Layman terms. Apparatus applies to anything fire-related.
Oh, okay, all right.
So we call it engines. You might call it a pumper or just a plain fire truck, but it applies to all fire trucks.
Okay.
Aerials as well. Sorry.
Thank you for that clarification. Councillor Wardrop, you had a question.
Just a quick question. In the further be it resolved, so the suggestions for how this would be replaced in the future, it says replacement based on usage condition and then maintenance records. Do you guys have to keep all of those and report all of those things anyway? Are you reporting?
Yes.
Like maintenance records and all of those things to the province on a regular basis and all that?
Through Councillor Wardrope, through all of council. We maintain those records, absolutely. Fire trucks are a very valuable asset to the community. And yeah, so there's annual tests and reports all the time, weekly, monthly. Yeah.
Right. Thanks. Good idea.
Perfect. Okay, to the motion. I lost my page again there. Okay. To the motion. I need someone to motion that. Councillor Mohammed? Oh, you did. Sorry, you did. You did. Sorry, Councillor Nesbitt did. That the City of Brooks second the resolution advocated for the extended lifespan of the fire apparatus in municipalities moved by the town of Sexsmith to be submitted to the 2025 Fall Alberta Municipalities Convention. All in favor? And that passes. Great. Thank you. Okay, now on to bylaws. Bylaw 2507, Animal Control Bylaw, and this will be Manager of Administration, Amy Romans again.
Thank you again, through the chair to Deputy Mayor and Council. As everyone is aware, the Urban Hen pilot program was in place from January 1st, 2023 to January 1st of this year. Under that program, there were 7 properties that were issued hen licenses, and there are a few others waiting for the bylaw to be adopted to begin the process. The most recent discussion regarding this bylaw occurred at the May 27th Council Committee meeting, and the recommendation was to limit the number of hens to 6, no matter the property size, with any variance requests being addressed by council on a case-by-case basis, and you will see one later. Once the bylaw is adopted, any residential property that meets the requirements will be permitted to participate in the Urban Hen program. Therefore, administration is recommending that council provide second reading to the bylaw as amended and third reading and adopt bylaw 2507.
Okay, so I need to move this. Moved by, who would like to move this? Councillor Jessica? All right. That bylaw 2507 be read as, oh, sorry. Did I jump ahead? Oh, you're right. Yeah, I'm right. Sorry, be read a second time as amended. Need a motion. All in favor of that? Now you can, yeah. All right.
Yeah, so a lot of time was spent on this bylaw. Sometimes some people say a rather unusually large amount of time. It's and the way it's come out, so with this idea, a concept of variance, you know, the original thought was to have it over this size. You can have so many, but with the when we were made aware that there are a number of properties that would qualify based on area for the larger numbers, but not all properties are created equal so far as proximity of neighbors and amount of neighbors, and that was sort of led to the variance. And I guess another reason I'm supporting it is after some discussion and looking at the bylaw, there are some mechanisms in place to deal with issues that would arise out of having larger number of animals, such as noise, odors, sanitation issues. And I guess the other point is the last time the question came up as to whether there had been any complaints against the existing program, there had not been any. So I think we should put this one to bed.
Okay. All right, so all in favor of that, right? Yeah, okay, we vote. So, all right, now we're gonna go to the third reading. Okay, all right, moved by, I need someone to move this, third one. Councillor Mohammed Idris, that bylaw 2507 being a bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta to provide the regulating and controlling of animals be read a third time and adopted. We've already had questions on this. All in favor? All right, and that's carried. All right. Letter B, bylaw 2509, municipal policing bylaw, manager of administration, Amy Romans.
Thank you. Through the chair to Deputy Mayor and Council. Just as a quick reminder, the Alberta government passed the Police Amendment Act, which required the establishment of policing committees in municipalities, and they differed, requirements differed based on population. The City of Brooks would have been a member of the Southern Alberta District Regional Policing Committee, and we requested exemption from the minister to form our own, as it's likely that the population of Brooks will be over 15,000 when the next federal census is completed. And our past detachment commander felt that Brooks had unique challenges in policing that other communities within the Southern Alberta District may not face, and approval was granted by the minister. So this bylaw was discussed at the April 29th and May 27th council committee meetings, and recommendations from both meetings have been incorporated into the bylaw. Once the bylaw is approved, we will begin advertising for the citizen at large positions. Process is slightly different than other city committees, so interested citizens must complete the enhanced security clearance paperwork and then provide that documentation to the province. They will be completing the enhanced security check for the first round of applicants. A summary of findings will be provided to the applicant with a determination of whether the applicant has been cleared or not, and we will also be advised of this. Once that process is completed, the member can then be appointed by council. So there are not current immediate financial implications. As I stated, the province is covering the cost of the first round of clearances. However, in the future, this will be the responsibility of the city, and council may wish to consider in future budget deliberations providing funding for training and development for municipal policing committee members. And if there are any additional questions, I would be happy to answer them. Otherwise, the recommendation is that the bylaw receive 3 readings tonight.
Okay, Councillor Wardrop.
Thank you. Could you clarify about the, under section 7, or the officers of the committee, we had a brief discussion about that, about whether we could have the chair be an elected official. What did you find out about that?
Through the chair to Councillor Wardrop, it is a requirement of the legislation to have an election.
Thank you.
Okay, seeing no other questions. Okay, we'll move. Moved by, I need someone to move this. Motion to make. Councillor Nesbitt. That bylaw 2509 being a bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta to establish a municipal policing committee be introduced and read a first time. All in favor? Okay. Moved by Jessica, Councillor Jessica. That bylaw number 2509 be read a second time. All in favor? Okay, good. All right, and then one more time here. Moved by, I need a motion for this. Someone make a, oh, sorry, Mohammed. Moved by Councillor Idris that bylaw number 2509 be given a third reading in this meeting, and it needs to be carried unanimously. All in favor? Councillor Prentice? There we go. Okay, thank you, Bill. Thank you, Councillor Prentice. All right. And now I need one last mover here.
Who hasn't done it yet?
Councillor Prentice, I see that hand. Thank you, Councillor Prentice. Moved by Councillor Prentice that bylaw number 2509, being a bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta to establish a municipal policing committee, be read a third time and adopted. All in favor of that? Okay, that's carried. Okay. Number 8, the Urban Hen Program Variance Request, and Manager of Administration, Amy Romans.
Thank you. Through the chair to Deputy Mayor and Council. As Council recently approved the animal control bylaw, I am bringing forward a variance request. The property owner of 740 12th Street West would like to request a variance regarding the number of hens permitted and the requirement to fence the entire rear yard. So the bylaw states that council may, at its discretion, consider variances to the restrictions and requirements set out in section 31, having regard to the specific circumstances and merits of each application. The property is zoned future urban development and is approximately 7.3 acres. The applicant has provided a site plan which was attached, and I also have attached a map of the area. The site plan outlines where the coop and outdoor enclosure will be located, and that location is approximately 59 meters from the residential subdivision to the south and approximately 137 from the property to the east. To the west of the property is 12th Street West, and then property to the north is even further away than the other ones listed. So unless there are any questions, administration recommends that council approve the variance request from the property owner of 740 12th Street West, subject to the following conditions. The maximum number of hens permitted is 20. Only the portion of the property where the coop and outdoor enclosure will be located shall be fenced, and all other requirements within section 31 of the animal control bylaw shall be met.
Okay, any questions on this? Okay, thank you, Councillor Wardrop.
Thanks. Just a minor clarification. The first picture that we have in our package, the entire property is outlined in red, correct? And where the structure is going would be the highlighted portion in yellow, because the picture underneath, and I says the orange is the property line, and that looks different from what that first photo is showing.
Through the chair to Councillor Wardrop, the highlighted area in yellow was just to highlight the address of the property. So just that council would know which property shown in the map is the one applying. So it's slightly below, the area is slightly below where the house is in the first map, where the address is highlighted.
Oh, I see.
So yeah,
Okay,
so the
it's
yellow
like
isn't exactly where it will be located, but
So it's
yeah.
like at the bottom fifth of that property is where that.
Yes, closer to the home.
Yeah.
Director Tiffin?
Through the chair to Councillor Wardrop, the second map shows Fraser Avenue in the wrong location. It's from Google Maps. The first map is through ArcGIS, and it shows where Fraser Avenue would be, which is slightly to the south. The second map has it in the wrong location. if that's what you're looking at. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion. I need someone to make the motion. Councillor Idris. Okay. That council approve the variance request from the property owner of 740 12th Street West, subject to the following conditions. The maximum number of hens permitted is 20. Only the portion of the property where the coop and outdoor enclosure will be located shall be fenced. And number 3, all of the requirements within section 31 of the animal control bylaw shall be met. All in favor? And carried, that's carried. All right, number 9, questions from the media. Okay, thank you very much for letting me off. Thank you, appreciate it. Okay, and I will make a motion to, need a motion to adjourn? Okay, moved by Councillor Wardrop that the meeting adjourn at 5